You from off-world? Or if you like your destinations hot and dusty, you know,
Help you with something?
I was thinking about going for a hike.
May not look like much, but there are some quality pieces in here. Just gotta find them. Plenty on offer.
I find comfort in the idea that the odds of something killing us here are at an all-time low.
Greetings, Captain.
Anything I can help you with?
3 spacers got the drop on me. Flipped the table. Found a good use for a butter knife. Dull, but surprisingly effective. Not everything in the galaxy needs to come with us, you know.
Dad, can I have a pet?
A pet? We live on a starship, Cora. Pets and starships don't always mix so well.
Aw, come on, please. I need somebody to talk to while I'm on the ship by myself.
Give him an inch. We'll see, Gumdrop. The Freestar Rangers. You did their dirty work and then some. So how'd you feel wearing the badge? Yeah, on the outside, the videos make it all look so straightforward. But actually doing the job is anything but. Me, I never cared much for being a ranger. Too many of them try to force the world to be only black and white when it's anything but. Take Ron Hope. I mean, the guy's a legend. Before him, Polvo was a desperate, depressing place. Everything he did was to keep his people employed, to keep Hope Tech standing in the backstabbing world of megacorp politics. Sadly, it is. Tough calling what to do with Ron Hope. Taking his hush money wouldn't have sat right with me. But I wonder what's gonna happen to Hopetown without him. Fingers crossed. As much fun as it is being a ranger, I hope you can start focusing on Constellation business. There's plenty of mysteries left in the good old Milky Way to discover.
This is pretty serious.
There is just no hope.
I don't know how it got this bad. I really don't. Well, if it isn't our own ranger. I hope you're not taking the job permanently. There's a lot less paperwork in Constellation. And the benefits are pretty good, too. Costume party coming up, huh? Anyway, it suits you. Anyway, I'm just glad Ron Hope is gone. You could have, actually. But you didn't. That's something he never expected, and it's the reason you're part of Constellation. It was a hard choice that you made, but I'm proud of you, Captain.
These people claim to be independent, yet they still crowd together behind walls.
I heard they're making the Starware updates mandatory.
Everyone needs them. I get all kinds in here. Take a gander.
I thought I was going to be fired for sure. But now I got a whole performance review plan to go through. Joy.
I can't believe Bailey did such a bonehead move.
It's been a grind, for sure.
That being said, there's people who have it much worse. I think they need to go.
So many books to read and so little time.
What's the report do anyway?
We need to be smarter, better in the way we handle the ash stuff.
Go for it.
Don't care if it's the UC driving the problem. I wish people could be fixed as easily as robots. Robots are a force amplifier for farm production.
That makes sense.
I've been trying to exercise more out here, but I feel like
You meet Aggie yet? Tough as they come, but
He is not here. I am disappointed, but relieved somehow.
I love you like a brother, man, but maybe, I don't know, lay off a while. The whole world?
No. This is the only place he would be. I know him well enough to know that. Someone here must know more. We should inquire about him.
If you're here about the bloodstain, I'll get to it when I get to it. If you got credits, spend them with Ethan. Or leave. You surprised or disappointed? It's my name on the outside, isn't it? Been here too damn long to let someone else come in and muck it up. Hell, even finding decent help isn't worth the trouble half the time. Ethan's got half a brain in his head, seems like, so maybe he'll work out. More and more as time goes on. Plenty of folks looking to get out from under the thumb of the UC, or taking their first steps to being independent. City's been slow to keep up with all the new people. Took them forever to put up the outer walls, and at this rate, they'll need to expand again soon. You ain't here looking for Eren. She is.
Hello, Aggie. I was unsure whether you would remember me. It has been a long time.
I ain't likely to forget you anytime soon. I don't know. You tell me. You're the one blundering in here with her in tow, asking questions. Don't try to play tough with me. I ain't got the time or the patience for it. She didn't ruin Eren's life enough the first time, huh? Back for more?
Ruined his life? How dare you?
Did she tell you what she did to him? How she left him bleeding on some godforsaken rock in the middle of nowhere? Ah, sure. You didn't have to look at him all this time. Eren sat in that corner for years, scared of his own shadow, convinced the damned zealots were coming back to finish the job. The few credits he had to rub together that didn't get spent on drink, he spent on setting himself up someplace where they couldn't find him. Wouldn't trust anyone that walked through the door. Only ever talked to me when he was drunk enough. If either of you cared, you wouldn't just be showing up now. Eren ain't been in here for almost a year now. Showed up one day saying he'd gone and got himself set up on Hyla too, thanking me for letting him stay here so often. It was the closest I'd seen him to happy in I don't know how long. And that was it. Never came through the door again.
Did he ever mention me?
You mean, did he blame you? That's what you want to know. I know guilt when I see it. Don't try and deny it.
Fine. Did he blame me?
No. Believed you were one of the good ones, right up until the last time I talked to him. Me? I don't think your kind has good ones.
My kind?
I know what you are. You take your holier-than-thou bullshit and your great serpent and shove 'em.
You dare insult me like this when I have come to you asking for help. I should kill you where you stand. You're right. We should focus on finding him.
Well, this has been so much fun. You see Eren, you tell him I got a bottle of his favorite stashed away if he ever shows up again. But honestly, I'm hoping he doesn't.
I wish I had thought to check on Eren sooner. We have something to go on, at least. I am grateful that you showed some compassion, despite that woman's attitude. I do not have your patience.
Sure did.
And you put in that order with Shepard?
Yes, ma'am.
You're a damn sight more reliable than my last bartender.
You are more diplomatic than I would be. One more reason I am glad to have you with me. I'm eager to reach Hyla too, and speak to Eren. Perhaps there is something we can do to help him. Provide him a sense of safety.
Thank you for that.
Well, you've proved your worth, so I might even let you stick around a little while. As long as you don't go getting too mushy on me, that is.
May you find favor in all things.
Just keep your gun holstered.
Landing site locked. Take us in.
Hello, Captain.
We should be on our guard here. If we could detect the camp from orbit, it means others could too. And I have no idea what fortifications he may have. When we arrive, would you let me speak to him first? I think that is important right now. Thank you. From what Aggie said, it sounds like he has been rather paranoid for years now. That, too, I fear, is my fault. Let us proceed slowly and carefully. I do not want to antagonize him. What does your scanner reveal? I thought I saw something. I need to be sure. I don't know what to say. I thought there would be a chance to speak to him. To make amends. Or at least to hear him curse me for leaving him. I was prepared to accept that. I did not think I would find him like this. At least these vermin didn't get him. He's been gone for... Well, clearly it's been some time. Look around. There will be correspondence from Jaeda Wong. I am sure of it. This cannot all be for... or nothing. Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets. hope you can succeed at that before we are discovered. Now would be a good time to reprioritize what we bring with us and what we leave behind. Or sell. Or... Go away, even. You found something. Please, let me see it. I should have guessed. Jaeda was always the one to run towards trouble. Of course she would still be doing it now. In her own way. She has been for as long as I have known her. Jaeda was younger than some of the other smugglers we contracted. There was concern she would be unreliable. As time went on, we called on her more and more often, eventually relying on her almost exclusively. She was sharp, a skilled pilot and very, very determined. Always talking about her big plans for retirement. How she would live like a queen. I am not surprised that she would desire revenge. But to go this far, we need to find her. But before we go, I have discovered something else. And I do not know what to make of it. Eren was composing a reply to Jaeda, but never sent it. It reads as if he was expecting the Zealots to find him. That they knew where to look for him. Clearly he had become paranoid, but that does not mean he was wrong. What bothers me, though, is that he mentions a name he should not know. Tomisar Kadik. Yes, I do. For all of my assignments in the settled systems, Tomisar has been my link to House Barun. From him, I have received my orders, and he is the person to whom I have reported my success. He does not work with anyone outside House Barun, and I am the only one who knows how and where to find him. Eren should never have heard of him. Perhaps. He could have reached out directly, but that would be a surprising breach of protocol. We must first make sure that Jaeda is safe, and perhaps she will be able to shed light on this. Let us head for the den. Do you see anything useful?
complete. Normal propulsion restored.
Dan acknowledging incoming hail. Docking Bay 1 is free.
Airlock integrity looks good.
Either she is here, or someone will know where we can find her.
It's a little surprising, isn't it? Out here on the edge of UC space.
May I be of service?
But it's just so...
You won't find a better offer on the station.
I'm on what you call a long-term assignment. Suits me fine, so long as the UC keeps paying me.
Time was... How come talking about history makes people so uncomfortable? That's so. Vanguard pilot. A pretty good one from what I hear. Got a real attitude, though. You could always ask the other Vanguard pilots. Or, since you're already here, I do happen to offer services in exchange for payment. One of those services can be information. You get what I'm saying here? Right, sure. That wouldn't make any sense. But, if it turns out no one else can help, you know where to find me. Long live the UC!
Fancy seeing you here.
You see any heat leeches, you've got our permission to take care of them. Things are dangerous, apparently.
Oh, it's you! What can I do you for? See ya!
Don't let Orville get to you. Just smile, take your drink, and be on your way. Best for everyone.
Only a matter of time before I get promoted out of here.
Haven't seen you around here before. Welcome to the den. Rayna Marquez. I head up the Vanguard station here. Good to see another Vanguard pilot. You assigned here, or just passing through? Right. Okay. Good. Was afraid I'd gotten another transfer without any warning. Nothing against you personally, of course. I'd just like to know who I'm responsible for before they show up on my doorstep. You need anything? Say the word. We're short on luxuries here, but for a fellow Vanguard, I'll do what I can to help. The same thing we do everywhere else. Fill in the gaps for the UC Navy. Help keep the settled systems peaceful and safe. Sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge all the way out here, but we try our best. I wouldn't mind a little more support from New Atlantis, but I know things are tough all over. Oh gosh, no. Vanguard wasn't even a thought back when this place was first built. The den, the original den, mind you, got blown up during the Serpent's Crusade. UC Navy immediately rebuilt the station, I think largely out of spite. Sometimes I think that's why they keep it operational too. Certainly hasn't had much real purpose since the Colony War ended. I'm glad we have it as a post, and Marcel and the Trade Authority do some decent business, which I try very hard not to pay attention to. But the station has never recaptured that old glory. Don't think it ever will, really. Might be counterintuitive, but no, we don't. It's pretty quiet, and some of us deal with that better than others. We get the occasional distress call, sometimes Varun stirs up trouble, but there's a lot of downtime. I'm not complaining, but others, like Bastion there. It's not what he was expecting. Certainly not what he wanted. Huang? Really? There are at least 3 other pilots based out of here I'd expect to receive complaints about first. Before we get started, I have to inform you there's a formal review process for the Vanguard, so don't expect any action for a while, okay? Now, what is the nature of your complaint? Look, this isn't Alpha Centauri or anything. We're a bit removed from the center of the United Colonies. Folks out here are a little less receptive to the Vanguard keeping an eye on things. Oh, okay. Sorry. Force of habit, I suppose. Jaeda isn't here. Hasn't been here in a while. In fact, she's following up on some sensitive information. I'm not sure I should disclose any more than that. Then I'd probably just be wondering how you have any information at all. And I might even be more concerned about your intentions. It's not something I can just blurt out. Maybe I can make an exception. Yeah, okay, I get it. I suppose it's not the end of the world. Jaeda came in a bit ago, all fired up over some hot lead. She's been focused on zealots ever since she was assigned here, but this was a whole other level. She was headed out to Groombridge to track them down. Never seen her so fixated. And if you know Jaeda, that's saying something. If you're headed out that way, be careful. Wouldn't surprise me if she's getting into all kinds of trouble. Take care.
Clamps released. Nice jump. We're right on target.
Unidentified ship. You are not authorized to be here. State your business. Who the hell are you? And what are you doing here? You're what? You have got to be kidding me. You show up here now of all times? Shit. I've got multiple ships inbound. Too late to run. Sure hope you're prepared for a fight. After the fact, with nothing in between, you'll have have to forgive me if I find that hard to believe. Suspicious, even. Look, my grav drive is fried. I need time to repair, if I can even manage it. You didn't take the opportunity to blow me up. So either that's not your goal, or you're playing some long game. You want to explain yourself? I can't stop you from coming over here. But I'm gonna be armed, and it's gonna be aimed at her head. Just so we're all clear.
Locked in.
Well, well. Back for more, eh?
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
How can you possibly show your face?
I am glad to see that you are safe, Jaeda. I am sorry if this is difficult for you.
Difficult? Are you serious right now? You set us up, killed my friends, and then a decade later you show up like nothing happened? Have you lost your mind?
Set you up? I was not behind that. It was zealots, you know that. We were all attacked.
Don't bullshit me. Not now. And who the hell are you? Her backup dancer? Yeah? Well, we're talking. How do you think that's going so far? What are you doing here with her? You don't look like Varun to me. Yeah. Difference is, though, I haven't been working with them. She has.
I would never!
You know, for a while I told myself it was a coincidence that you disappeared once the shooting started. That you were long gone when the dust settled. Told myself, No, it couldn't possibly be her. Not after all those years we spent working together. We're friends. So I went after the Zealots. And then I found out the truth. Your damned High Council. They knew. Told the Zealots where to find us.
That's not true. That cannot be true.
Oh, it is.
How? How do you know this? If you have proof, I need to see it right now.
You don't get to demand anything of me, Andreja. I know what I've seen! I don't have... It doesn't work like that. I've put things together over the years. Slates, communications, interrogations.
A name, Jaeda. Give me a name. You must have heard one by now.
Tomisar! Tomisar Kadik! That's the bastard from the High Council who's been helping the Zealots!
Did you hear this from Eren?
Eren? What? No! I haven't talked to him in a year. What do you know about it?
Jaeda, I swear on the Serpent himself, I would never betray you. I need time to make this right. Can we go somewhere and talk?
I am not giving up on this! I've tracked them this far, and I'm going to see this through. You want your proof? Well, they have it!
So... you think you've won, do you?
That's him! That's the bastard responsible for the ambush! If you're not lying to me, then you better help me take him down! Otherwise, I'll just have to destroy you both! Get back to your ship!
I smile today in the knowledge that the Great Serpent has truly blessed my ship and my crew. Why else would he
I'm
have
here for you,
delivered
my
me the dregs of our purge years ago? The offal that escaped our righteous justice. Your pathetic High Council, who betrayed the charge laid upon them by the Great Serpent, gave you over to us to atone for their sins.
It always hurts me that you escaped the fate of the Serpent. But now, the Serpent sets my mind.
Their ground drive is crippled. They're not escaping.
I will cleanse your filth from this universe.
I do not understand. It cannot be possible that the High Council would betray us like that. He must have been lying. That is not an option. Even if we could reach them, you are a non-believer. You would be killed. Something about this does not feel right. This message. The code at the bottom. I have seen this before. I know where we need to go. I must explain. House Barun values secrecy above nearly all else. Those of us sent out into the settled systems, we cannot return. Maybe not forever, but certainly until our mission has been accomplished. When we are assigned a mission, we are taken to a point outside of House Barun's domain. We do not jump ourselves. We are never given the coordinates for Varun Kai, our homeworld. We literally cannot return. Only a select few are ever trusted with that knowledge. I can never go home. Unless I am permitted. Perhaps there is. I cannot travel to my home, but I can reach out another way. But it means putting you in danger in a way you have not been before. I cannot say for certain what will happen. Thank you. That means a great deal. There is an old derelict star station where I may get answers. I know that seems vague. It will become clear when we arrive.
If something's on your mind, you can tell me.
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how?
Good day,
I will
Captain.
say again. There is danger. Likely for us both. I need you to trust me. These stations were built by the United Colonies during the Serpent's Crusade. They were abandoned when peace was broken. Excellent place to hide in plain sight. If there is something I can do, please, say so. Before we go any further, I cannot stress this enough. Keep your weapons at your side. Do not make any sudden moves. Do nothing to appear hostile. This is the only place I can get answers. The only connection I have to House Varun. Please give me a moment. I am not the one who needs to explain himself, Tomisar.
I am surprised by your tone. What has gotten into you? This is very unlike you. Almost insubordinate.
I know what you have done. The messages you sent.
You are not making any sense. Of course I send you messages. That is how this works. That is how it has always worked.
Not to me. To the zealots. To the fanatics who murdered my friends, who tried to murder me.
You must be mistaken. Or perhaps confused. Nothing like that has ever happened.
Enough! I have the transcripts, Tomisar. You did this. You told them where to find us.
Now, let's just take a moment. No one wants to make accusations they might regret. You are from that Constellation group. I've heard all about you. You have turned her against me, filled her head with lies. This will not be allowed to stand. Insolence! You have corrupted her!
I said enough! This is between you and me.
This has gone far enough. Talk some sense into her at once. Neither of you would dare lift a finger against me. Against House Varun. I have already said this is a misunderstanding. But I am. If you let Andreja hurt me, I am her only link to the High Council. To House Varun. Without me, she can never return home. You must make her listen to reason.
He is responsible. He deserves to die.
Did you not hear me? You do this, you lose everything!
I heard you. I know what it costs me. But he deserves it. Does he not? I do not know. Maybe. Maybe if the High Council sees what he has done. Fine. Consider yourself fortunate. You get to live.
This is not over. The High Council will hear of your treason.
Perhaps they will hear of your actions as well, Tomisar. Think on that. Come. Let us leave this place. I wish to return to the lodge.
You will regret this!
How can I be of service, Captain?
Undocking complete, Captain. That's all fine. Do let me know if you get a response. That is highly unlikely, but if it happens, I will be sure and tell you.
The Den responding to hail. You are cleared to dock. Welcome to UC space.
And you didn't even scratch the paint.